If you thought global politics couldn't get any more unpredictable, think again. Former President Donald Trump has just issued a stunning ultimatum to Hamas, giving the group until Sunday to respond to his proposed Gaza plan. This deadline isn't just another political statement, it's a ticking clock that could shift the balance of power in the Middle East and send ripples across the globe. The stakes are higher than ever, and the world is now holding its breath to see whether Hamas will comply, reject, or attempt to negotiate further. The drama unfolding here feels less like routine diplomacy and more like a high-stakes showdown where every second counts. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into Trump's shocking demand directed at Hamas, where he has essentially thrown down a political gauntlet. He has made it clear that time is running out, and Hamas needs to make a choice. But to understand this deadline fully, let's break it down in a way that highlights the layers of this story, the exterior appearance of the move, the interior details shaping it, the performance in terms of international strategy, the safety implications for both the region and the world, the unique selling points of Trump's bold tactic, the political price of this gamble, and ultimately, what conclusion we might draw about the future of Gaza and global stability on the outside. Or what we can call the exterior. Trump's move appears as a show of strength and decisive leadership. It's the kind of headline-grabbing action that fits perfectly with his style, bold, dramatic, and confrontational. He has always positioned himself as a negotiator who thrives on deadlines and pressure tactics, whether in business, politics, or foreign policy. The exterior framing is simple, but powerful by issuing a Sunday deadline. Trump sets himself apart as someone who doesn't wait endlessly for talks to drag on. Instead, he presents himself as a man of action, ready to push Hamas into a corner where a decision has to be made, one way or another. To supporters, it looks like toughness. To critics, it may look reckless. But either way, the exterior impression is commanding attention worldwide. Inside this decision, however, the interior story is far more complicated. The short details reveal that this ultimatum is not only about Gaza itself, but about Trump's wider vision for U.S. influence in the Middle East. By putting Hamas on the clock, he's signaling to allies like Israel and regional powers such as Egypt, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia that he's serious about forcing movement where traditional diplomacy has often stalled. At the same time, the interior details suggest that Trump is also thinking about his political image at home. A dramatic foreign policy move like this plays well to his base, who view him as a decisive leader unafraid to take risks. But the internal mechanics are delicate. Hamas is not a conventional government, and dealing with them involves layers of complexity, from their ties to Iran to their history of conflict with Israel. The interior shows us that while the exterior looks straightforward and bold, beneath it lies a complicated web of calculations, risks, and potential consequences. When we shift to performance, Trump's ultimatum can be seen as a test of how effective pressure tactics still are in today's geopolitical landscape. Trump has always favored negotiation strategies that mirror his business background, set terms, impose deadlines, and create leverage by projecting strength. In performance terms, this deadline tests whether that style can succeed in one of the world's most volatile regions. Will Hamas bend under the pressure, fearing isolation or retaliation? Or will they push back, refusing to appear weak, and instead escalate tensions further? The performance here also includes the reactions of international stakeholders. Nations in Europe, the UN, neighboring Arab states will be watching closely to see if Trump's gambit works or if it makes the situation worse. In essence, the performance is about proving whether Trump's political theater can achieve tangible results in an arena where many before him have failed. Looking at safety features, this move carries both the promise of increased stability and the risk of greater danger. On the one hand, if Hamas responds positively to the plan, there could be a breakthrough that stabilizes Gaza and reduces violence, at least temporarily. On the other hand, issuing ultimatums to a group like Hamas could backfire, leading to new escalations, rocket attacks, or even wider conflict with Israel. For civilians in Gaza and Israel, safety is the immediate concern. Any miscalculation could cost lives, and that's what makes this deadline so dangerous. From a global perspective, safety features extend to America's own reputation and alliances. Trump is betting that toughness will deter violence, but there's always the possibility that it provokes it instead. In short, the safety factor is a double-edged sword. There's potential for peace, but also for catastrophic fallout. The unique selling points of this decision highlight Trump's distinct brand of politics. No other major Western leader would issue such a blunt public deadline to Hamas, knowing the volatility of the situation. That uniqueness is what makes this story so captivating. Trump isn't following the usual script of drawn-out negotiations behind closed doors. Instead, he is using a mix of media spectacle and hard-nosed bargaining to create momentum. To his supporters, the unique selling point is strength. Trump is showing that he won't tolerate endless stalling or evasions. To the international community, the uniqueness is in the unpredictability. Love him or hate him, Trump brings a different energy to foreign policy, and this Sunday deadline captures that perfectly. It's a move designed to shake things up, forcing action where diplomacy has been stagnant for years. When it comes to price, this isn't about dollars, it's about political cost. If Hamas ignores the deadline or responds defiantly, Trump could look weak, undermining his claim to strength and deal-making ability. That's the risk he's paying up front. But if Hamas caves, or even signals willingness to negotiate, Trump will be able to claim a major political victory at little cost to himself. The price also applies to the broader Middle East. If the deadline sparks new violence, the cost will be paid in lives, stability, and perhaps even in America's credibility. On the flip side, if it sparks a genuine shift in Hamas's approach, the payoff could be enormous. The political price here is higher risk, higher reward, which is exactly how Trump has operated throughout his career. Finally, we come to the conclusion. Trump's Sunday deadline for Hamas isn't just a news story. It's a dramatic political maneuver with potentially historic consequences. It combines the bold exterior of decisive leadership with the complex interior of global strategy, performs as both negotiation and spectacle, carries safety risks that could go either way, highlights the unique selling points of Trump's unconventional style, and comes at a steep political price that could either elevate him or damage his credibility. Whether you agree with his methods or not, there's no denying that this ultimatum has placed Gaza, Hamas, and the entire Middle East at a crossroads. As Sunday approaches, the world will be watching to see how this gamble plays out. And that's the big takeaway. Trump has once again forced the world to pay attention, turning politics into a high-stakes drama where the ending is uncertain. Will Hamas respond with cooperation, rejection, or silence? Will this deadline lead to a step toward peace or spark more conflict? The only certainty is that the coming days will be critical, and the decision made by Sunday could change not just Gaza's future, but the trajectory of global politics itself.